What's up, guys? Stevie at Battalion, and I'm bringing you episode 2 of Tech Shop Tuesday, and I'm kind of excited because what we've got, I don't think anyone else has really done before. We're doing a custom gun here at Battalion, and I'm going to build it as the episodes follow. So episode 3, I think we're going to do installing rails. Episode 4, we're going to do motors and such like that. Other things we're going to put into it, accessories. I'll show you how to put things like that on, and stocks, and taking off your flash hider, and all that stuff. But this is kind of like an introductory video to that whole little, I guess we'll call it a mini series of Tech Shop. But it's going to be awesome. It's going to feature a KWA CQR Mod 1, which is the longer one, because I can get a couple more FPS out of that one, plus it looks nicer with the longer rails. So we're going to do that. That's going to be our base gun, which I have here. So it's brand new, and it's going to be for sale after it's built. So you'll get our warranty on the gun here at the Tech Shop, so that way if anything happens or it breaks or you have any issues, which you won't, I personally will fix it because I'm the one who built it, so you don't have to worry about anything there. So we've got KWA, we've got so many parts. We've got rails. Let's see, these are Knight's Armament's brand new URX 3.1. I think these are 3.1 rails in 13 inches. So these things will fit. These are going to be crazy sexy. We've got some Magpul stuff. We've got a metal lower for this gun, so you'll have a metal upper and lower. This is a whole bunch of things we're going to go over as the episodes go. So as I put parts on, I'll show you how to put them on your gun, how, you know, just kind of emulate what you would do. And as the episodes go, the gun will be getting built, so you'll be able to see that happen like right in front of your eyes. So when you build it and you can see someone and how they did the work and all that, you can kind of buy it with confidence that you know you're gonna get something that's done right and not all janked up. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started with the next episode, which is free float rails. So I'm going to show you how to put on some free float rails and how to install that. So we'll see you in a second. TV magic. Alright guys, we're back, and this is episode 2. We're going to do the rails, but before we get started, I want to kind of show you guys what I use on my personal set of tools and what I like to use and why I like to use them and all that other jazz. By no means is this the end all be all or what you should personally do. This is kind of like a guideline of the things I use, and I'm not perfect. So just, you know, remember that and don't get all technical about what lubes I use or what I shouldn't do and all this. It's just what I use, so what you do will vary significantly, and, you know, kind of go by what I use because I've had success. So first, I like a mallet because a regular steel ball peen hammer or a regular hammer, it's kind of, if you're hitting metal on metal, then you're gonna scratch and all that stuff, and since this is plastic, you don't really get that. So I like a Maraca Deadshot mallet. Phillips heads and flathead, good quality screwdrivers are always a must. I use punches to get the pins out. We're gonna be taking them off this front sight, so you gotta punch both of those out. So you gotta have punches. It's the only way to do it. Trusty knife, Snap-on is my go-to. 2 sets of pliers. You can use needle nose if you want. You don't have to, but I like 2 sets because if I need to get in a little further, these are a little quicker to get to. A good pick tool. I don't remember where I got this one, but it's amazing. So you can get, I think, Harbor Freight pick tools or whatever you want. It doesn't matter. They don't have to be expensive. Toothbrush for cleaning stuff out. Silicone grease. 100% silicone grease. I got this from Home Depot. You don't have to get the Airsoft branded stuff. You can. And I use pure white lithium grease with no petroleum-based lubricant type stuff in there, because petroleum will eat away at the plastic parts or the rubber parts inside the gearbox. So this lube here is specifically for your gear set, and this lube here I put on tappet plates, things that are plastic around the O-rings and all that other stuff. So you gotta not mix those up. I believe ICS makes a lube you can put on everything, but that's just what I use because it's cheap. These are both at Home Depot and they don't cost very much. An AR tool. You're not gonna have these, but you'll probably be best with the big set of pliers. I've got a little set. You're gonna need something that's bigger than that to get the delta ring, but if you can get this tool, eBay's good. They're not very expensive, so I would definitely source that. Safety first. I always wear safety glasses when I tech on stuff. I know it's troublesome and it's not very preferred and it's hard to see sometimes, but your eyes are the best asset you have, so you absolutely have to take care of those. So I always tech with my safety glasses on. This is a metal bowl with a magnet on the bottom of it. So if you take a little screw out, you just put it in this bowl and it'll stick. So that way you don't have to worry about screws or little bolts or nuts rolling around. So this is a must. If you're gonna have anything here, this, and this bad boy right here, the go-to. I got this at Harbor Freight. It's got like every single little Torx or screwdriver. I don't know. These things are just the greatest thing ever. So get you a little multi-tool like this so you can get all of your Allen heads and all of your Torx bits and all of your little screwdrivers for little things, and that'll be good. So before we get started, we gotta have a clean workspace, and the only way I know how to do that is about like this. So I like to use towels. We have KWA little work square bench things or whatever, but you don't have those, so I'm not gonna use those. So I'm kind of trying to emulate what you have and what I have. So, all right, let's get started. We're gonna change the rails. So we've got this crazy awesome Knights Armament URX 3.1 rail, which is beautiful to say the least. We're gonna put it on our KWA CQR Mod 1. So this is a custom gun getting built. This is the first episode showcasing what this will look like beforehand. So it definitely will not look like this when we get done. So let's go ahead and get started. To take these type of handrails off, or hand grips, I'm sorry, you pull your delta ring back like so, and then just pop away. So this one pops out, this one pops out, and that's it. So you can take these and put them to the side, save them, because you never know whenever you can always sell it, or you can put them back on there or whatever. It's up to you. Next, we need to get the front triangle post off, and this is kind of a hard part. And if you've seen the little bits of tools I have, I had 2 punches, and this is what these are for. Inside here, these 2 little snap, I don't know what the word is, but they're like, maybe someone can comment and let me know. I don't remember what they are, but you gotta punch them out because they're cut on one end, so they expand. So they're like screwless screws, I guess. I don't know what to call them. So you get a punch. Let's see, I think I got one like so. That one's a tad too big. That one's too big. And that one is, no, it's too small, that one's too big. Technical difficulty screen flashed up right now because I gotta go find one. I just had an epiphany. So remember that little multi-tool thing, crazy thing I told you to get? Right. So inside are torque sets. So we're gonna try to find a torque that, oh, perfect. Well, let's see if the next size up. We're gonna punch it out with the Torx. That one will be even better. So this is a good way to ruin your bits, but mine are old and I don't care and it's okay, so this is for YouTube. So just some taps, some love taps to get them started. And once you get them most of the way out, you can flip over to the other side. See they're starting to come out. Take a pair of your handy dandy pliers, like so, and then just, should be able to just wiggle them out. Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe gotta go a little further. Punch them a little further. Pick tool to the rescue. Yours could be Allen screws. This is a KWA, and this is how they do these with these little punch things. Hopefully yours are just a few little Allen screws or a couple Torx bits that you need to just loosen, and then that you can pull this front triangle post off. There'll usually be one underneath here if you have like a GMP or a JG or something like that. Or they might just screw right out. Unfortunately, KWA does things the hard way, it seems like. And that's not going to be the case, and now I got to get these out, and they're not cooperating.
A few moments later.
Back it up. Nope, back it up. Alright, I totally forgot a step. You probably, unless you have a KWA, you won't have this. This outer barrel, it's in 2 pieces, so there's an extension. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the extension part off. You will just have to take your flash hider off. So if you just take your flash hider off, you can slide this whole assembly right on through. But since I can do this instead, it's quicker, I'm gonna do this because it's quicker. So like close, 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 bam, there we go. set that off to the side, pull your whole little front triangle forward hand grip little thingy jig, just pull all that stuff right off. So you want to get down to the inner or the outer barrel and your delta ring. So the delta ring is the next thing we're gonna have to take off, which fortunately for us shouldn't be that hard because KWAs usually aren't on there super tight. But this is where this tool comes in handy crazy amounts. If you don't have one of these, you can pull this back and try to grab it with pliers and take it off. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. But since I have one of these special tools, in theory, I should be able to just put it on here, like so. And then righty tighty, lefty loosey. So I gotta go towards me. There we go. So once you break it loose, it just turns right off. Like that. And oh man, there's a Dean's connector. Come on. Oh, what? This is ridiculous. Alright, so problem number 2. I can't get the delta ring off because of the fact that there's some Deans on there. So I'm gonna do something that you should not do, but I'm gonna rewire this gun to the rear, so it's okay if I kind of cut this off. You will have a set of connectors, and you could just unhook those connectors, and you should be able to take your Tamiya or Deans or whatever it is, you should just be able to slide it right off. I, for the purpose of this, rewired this gun to Deans, and I took those connectors out because they create resistance. I never ever thought I'd be taking this off, so it's okay, because we're gonna redo it, so no worries. So, delta ring comes off, that goes to the side, and you should be left with your outer barrel, your gun, and your new awesome rails. So, I'm gonna slide this back on. And it's got a little pin. This outer barrel has a pin. You might have one on top and 2 on the sides. This one particularly only has 1 on the top, and it fits in the notch inside the receiver. So you see there's a cut in the top, so it just slides right in, and that little peg sits right in there. So as long as it's banked up there and flush, you're not gonna have any problems. So just like that, there's a button, and that button locks this upper sliding part in and out, so that's why I couldn't get it apart. So I got the button, I got the top part out. Inside this rail is it's a secondary nut. So this one is the one that screws onto the upper receiver. Then you've got this one inside of it that's gonna lock that down. So when you start to put this on, you wanna loosen this one up. So I got this one pretty loose. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna go ahead and tighten it. I'm gonna slide it on. Like so. And I'm just gonna start to tighten it down. So I'm gonna get it where I want, and you get it lined up where you want, and then you'll tighten this inner part. When you tighten it, it goes in, and that's what locks this rail where you want it. So I make sure I got plenty enough. Yeah, I got plenty enough room and slag, so that's a little too far. We'll go one more turn. Let's see if we can get away with one more before it gets too tight, and I don't think we can quite get, well, we can't quite get that one because it's so close. So we'll just back it up one. It's not a problem. Oh, this thing's tight. Maybe. Well, let's see. Yeah, so we'll back it up one. So we're right there, and what we'll do is we'll tighten down this inner one. We'll just slowly, and I couldn't figure out anything to put in there to tighten it, so I'm using my fingernail now, and then in a second I'll have to use a pair of pliers. 99% of the rails that you'll be dealing with, unless it's a specific Knights Armament one, isn't this hard. All you do is take the 2 parts apart, you slide one side in, screw it down, and you slide the other side in, and it's got a series of screws you lock down. So this one's pretty difficult, and I don't know why they made it so frustrating, but they did. So but it's cool, so it's totally worth it. We'll tighten this down. So it's starting to get tight, and I'm kind of looking at it and eyeballing it and lining it up and getting it where I want. And what's a cool idea I just thought of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rear sight off. This will help you line your rails up. So take it off and then put it on the gap in between both rails. So put it right there on the gap. And what that'll do is, in theory, in my head just now, that should hold both sides, the upper receiver and the rail, perfectly straight. So that way, when you tighten it down and lock it in place, it should be perfect. As if not, it can fluctuate a little bit, go a little left, go a little right, and then it'll be kind of off center. And you'll get a ugly looking rail, because anything you mount on the top, when you look down, it will be either left or right a little bit, so it won't be perfect like it could be. So I got that tight, and we'll take this off and test it. Oh yeah, that's solid. That's solid and perfectly straight. Straight as an arrow. So now that you've got the top part on, what you want to do is flip it over, take your bottom part. There's a couple of grooves. It just pops down in those grooves, slides back like so, and then with the provided hardware, you get 4 screws. So these look like they are pretty big Torxes, or not Torx, but Allen keys. So it's a number 4 Allen key, which thankfully is the biggest size my little multi-tool goes to. And there are 4 places. You got one place here, 4 screw. Don't tighten down all the way, just enough to snug them up. And then we'll go back and we'll cross tighten them. That's really important. If you've got a Daniel Defense rail system, there are Allen keys that go through the back. What you want to do is tighten them all a tiny little bit and then go back and tighten this side, flip it over and tighten this side, then tighten this side and flip it over and tighten this side. There's barrel extension in there. And then we've got a very, very awesome looking rail. That is like crazy looking. That looks great. That looks great. Yeah, but sorry this one took a little longer than I anticipated. These are pretty hard looking rails, but I think it makes the gun look crazy, crazy awesome. So more to come. Thank you guys for watching. This is Stevie at Battalion, so if you need anything worked on or all that stuff, you just come down, we'll take care of it. Tune into the next video. I think we're going to do how to install a metal lower, so we'll get on that. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe.